When The Big Bang Theory first hit television screens in 2007, it quickly established itself as one of the most talked about sitcoms of its time. With its quirky humor, nerd culture references, and unconventional group dynamics, the show became a cultural phenomenon. However, not every aspect of the show has aged gracefully, and a closer look back at certain storylines highlights just how much societal perspectives have shifted over the years. One prime example comes from Season 2 Episode 12, titled The Killer Robot Instability, in which Howard Wolowitz's treatment of Penny, and the way it was framed for laughs, doesn't sit well with modern audiences. What was once brushed off as cheeky and comedic is now being re-evaluated as problematic and reflective of outdated attitudes toward gender and consent. In The Killer Robot Instability, Howard continues to display his notorious ladies' man persona, which is essentially a blend of overconfidence and awkward desperation. The episode focuses on the group preparing for a robot battle, but the humor largely comes from Howard's uncomfortable advances toward Penny. During a scene where Howard flirts with Penny at the Cheesecake Factory, he makes crude comments and sexual innuendos, which eventually lead Penny to deliver a scathing response. Penny tells Howard off in front of everyone, cutting him down with a brutally honest critique of his behavior, calling him creepy and saying that no woman would ever want him. While the audience laughed at the time and the scene was intended as comic relief, the storyline reveals troubling aspects when revisited today. The problem lies not just in Howard's behavior, but in how the show framed it. In the late 2000s, it was fairly common for sitcoms to depict persistent male advances, even when unwelcome, as funny quirks rather than red flags. Howard's relentless pursuit of women, despite clear disinterest, was positioned as a running gag. Penny's role in this episode was to put Howard in his place, but instead of addressing the deeper issues of harassment, the show moved on as though the conflict had been resolved through humiliation. For many modern viewers, this approach feels dismissive. Rather than exploring Howard's behavior as something harmful or worthy of real growth, the show glossed over it as just another comedic misunderstanding. It's important to understand why this episode in particular stands out as having aged poorly.